Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. I'm going to ask for about 10 to 15 people, mix it up, men and women, to stand behind Steve. Can I get some volunteers? I'm going to start picking. Come on up. Yep. So, ladies, can we get a couple of the ladies, please? We need ladies. Okay.
One, two, three.
I'm going to need two. Yeah. So, can I need a couple of them.
Yeah, he's going to be right where you're standing.
Steve's going to be here. Yeah. So I need this stuff. I just need him to have some room. He's going to turn around. Is there anybody go back anymore?
Okay. Ready?
You have tape? I don't need some tape.
So we have one more here, please. Can you move that chair back? Thank you.
Sean.
Nancy, come in.
I handed the tape to Long Day. What? Do you have the tape? The tape?
Oh, yeah, the tape.
Please.
Okay. True.
Thank you.
Yeah. That would not look good. If you tripped.
Go ahead. We got it right here. Watch. Yeah, we also need it for the sign.
It's good.
Thank you.
You might want to just secure it.
Or maybe you can just
I'll move forward.
where the people can come behind you.
Yeah.
If I could cross legs with you, it'd be great.
Yeah, go ahead.
Đấy, nếu mà mấy anh lên thì xuống là chịu khó để cái dây ha. Để nó vướng một cái. Lúc đầu mình cứ xuống từ từ.
You're good. No, thank you. Yeah, he's going to come in and give a speech. Thank everyone, and then he's going to take a few questions, and then we're going to go aside for the end of these meetings.
Oh, you trying to get mine?
No, you're good.
Vậy đâu có chụp hình hay đâu. Cô ý nó chụp vậy như em coi là coi cái này. Lái siêu.
I'm out of here. Excuse me. Sorry, ma'am.
Back here? Oh, yeah.
I know. Don't worry, Herb's here to see it.
very much. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody. How are you doing back there? How's everyone back there? All these press in the way. I just want to say hello. Can I come through here? Hello, everybody. So,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Steve.
you can't stand in front of a speaker for reverbs. I think we could. Thank you very much. What are we doing with this? Okay. I think so. So, well, we were having a nice little meet and greet with my friends here in the Vietnamese community, and then something happened last night. They called the election. And now, we are going to be in the top 2 for governor. And what does that mean? It means change is coming. Change is coming to California. And it is a wonderful day because we now know that in November, the people of California will have a choice, a real choice, that they want to keep going with the same policies that have given us the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate, the highest cost of living in America, the crime and the chaos and the homelessness. Do we want more of that? Do you want another 4 years of the highest gas prices? If you want 4 more years of the highest gas prices in the country and you want them to go even higher, Javier Becerra is your man. If you want to pay more taxes, Javier Becerra is your guy. If you want more of the chaos and the incompetence and the costs, vote for Javier Becerra. But if you want change, if you want to pay less taxes, if you want to pay less for your gas, if you want $3 gas in California, if you want a home that you can afford to buy, if you want change in California, well, now we know. You will have the chance to vote for change in November for Steve Hilton, because change is coming. Change is coming. You do want change. Are you sure? Very good. I just want to say once again, as I said last night, a huge thank you to every single person who voted in this election. Whether you voted for me, whether you voted for Javier Becerra, even if you voted for poor old Tom Steyer. $220 million, and he didn't make it. So we feel a little bit sorry for Tom Steyer today. That was a lot of money. Everybody who participated in this election, I want to thank you for taking the time to care about the future of our state. And I want to say a thank you to not just everyone who voted, but everyone who works to make this beautiful state what it is. The workers and the small businesses, the law enforcement community, everyone who worked so hard to make our state work. I want everyone to know that I am there for you. I am here to serve you, to be the leader for change that this state so desperately needs. It is clear that we need,
must be right.
it's very clear that we need change in California. And I just want to say, this campaign is actually not going to be about Democrat or Republican. It's not about that. It's about common sense, isn't it, Herb? I think it is. I think that's right. It's about common sense, positive, practical things to make life easier, more affordable for Californians. Here's the mission of the next governor of California, me. We will go to Sacramento. We will clean up the corruption so we can cut your costs, help your business, fix our schools. That is the mission. That is the choice. Or you can have Javier Becerra. Another 4 years of the cost, the incompetence, the corruption. That's the very clear choice we now have. And I know, because a majority of Californians now say they want change. 57% of Californians say that it's time for change. That's a majority who want change in California. We are going to lead that majority to victory in November. And we will turn this state around and get things back on track. That is the plan. Now I know that many people are looking at this election now and they're saying, oh, Steve Hilton, Javier Becerra, it's such a Democrat state. The election's basically over. You can hear their arrogance, these people who think that they've won the election just by getting in the top 2. That is not how I see it at all. I think this state is ready for change. I think that people don't want to keep going the same direction. And so I think those who assume that this election is going to go the same way as all the elections we've had in the last 20 years or so, they've got a big surprise coming. A big surprise in November. Because we are going to work very, very hard. You've never seen a campaign like this one. You've never seen a candidate like this one. I'm so proud to be here representing the hopes of everybody who wants change in California. We're going to be across this state, every city, every county, every part of our state, leading that movement for change, which goes right across our political differences. It's common sense, it's positive, it's practical. That's what you're going to see in the next few months. And I'm very confident that when we get to November, it will be very clear that change is coming to California. Thank you very much, everyone. I just want to, before I come and say hi and say hi to everyone back there, I just want to see if any members of the press have any questions.
Yeah, it was a tight race. Why do you think your message resonated with voters?
I think that our message was successful because it's positive and it's practical. It's simple things that everyone can see will make their life better. Your first 100 grand tax-free, $3 gas, cut your electric bills in half, a home you can afford to buy. I call it Cal-affordable. We're going to make our state Cal-affordable. And that's what people want. I think they've had enough of politics and ideology and all these things that actually don't make their lives better. It's positive, practical things to make your life better. That's why I think the campaign has succeeded so far, and that's why I think we're going to be doing very well in the months ahead.
How do you plan on getting $3 gas?
We're gonna have common sense. It makes no sense to do what we're doing right now, which is to import nearly 80% of the oil that we use in California from other countries, from halfway around the world. That's why refineries have shut down. That's why costs have gone up. We're shipping in oil halfway around the world, increasing carbon emissions. For what? In the name of climate, it doesn't make sense. We can have common sense. As long as we are using oil and gas in California, let's use California oil and gas. That means we can get the price down and get it to, before the Iran war, remember, there were 40 states in America, 40, that had gas at $3 or lower. Most of them don't have the kind of oil reserves we have here in California. So we just need a bit of common sense.
So that's more drilling, more like onshore, offshore, like because you're saying California oil, so we got to get it out of the ground.
So
right?
I spend a lot of I spend a lot of time in our great energy communities, particularly in Kern County near Bakersfield. And so when Gavin Newsom says he doesn't want to see oil drilling in California, what he's actually saying is he wants to drill, baby drill, in the Amazon rainforest. That's where our oil is coming from, or in Iraq. Why is Gavin Newsom creating jobs in Iraq, or South Korea, or India, all these places we're getting our oil and gas? I think we should be creating jobs in our energy industries here in California, rather than shipping in oil and gas from halfway around the world. It makes no sense. It's another example of how we've got to have common sense instead of ideology. That's the way we get gas prices down.
You called for the voting system, the election system to change. Can you elaborate on that?
I think everyone can see that our election system in California is not working the way we would want. It's crazy that we have to wait this long for results when you have a country like India, 640 million votes that are counted in 24 hours. Here in California, they're saying it's going to take a month before we get final results, even though it's less than 10 million. It doesn't make any sense. So there are things we can do to speed up the process right now. I put forward some positive plans at the end of last week to do that, to get more resources to the counties so we can count quicker. But actually, there's a very practical thing we could do that would speed up the elections and make them more secure, and that is voter ID. Voter ID is on the ballot in November. 70% of Californians support voter ID. Do we support voter ID? Voter ID is a change that we can make that would, I think, bring a lot of increased security to our elections and make the counting quicker as well.
In the 1990s in California, there were a series of anti-immigrant laws that were passed under Governor Pete Wilson. Do you think that will weigh heavy given the raids we saw this past year in California with the immigrant community and their family members? Do you think that will weigh, how do you feel that will weigh in your election?
So of course I'm part of the immigrant community. I'm an immigrant, and I always say I am the candidate of the legal immigrant community for the legal immigrant community. I want everyone who's come here legally in search of a better life to have that California dream. And that's why I'm so proud to be here in this community especially.
Legal,
because my parents fled communism in Hungary. I think there's a lot of people in this room that understand what that means to flee communism and come to America in search of a better life. I grew up in a working class immigrant home. And that's what I want for every legal immigrant in this state, to have that opportunity of the California dream. It's very simple, a good job where you make enough to raise your family in a home of your own, in a safe neighborhood, with a good school so your kids have a better life. That's what I want for every legal immigrant and their family in California.
Even we're hearing from you, acknowledge the challenges, the numbers in terms of a Republican winning in a state that is as heavily Democratic. I've even heard from some Republicans who acknowledge that it might be difficult. So what's the strategy going forward to try and turn out not just Republicans but independents, and do you think you can flip some of those Democrats?
I'm very, very excited about traveling this state to earn the trust of the majority of Californians who want change. And so what we have to do is match their desire for change, which is very clear. Everyone knows we need change in this state. There's a clear majority for change. And what we need to do is match that hope for change with concrete plans for change. And that's what I'm going to be putting out there in this campaign. You'll be hearing more from me next week on our tax plans, for example, more detail on how we can lower taxes. Already in this campaign, I've set out concrete plans for how we can make life more affordable for people.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. I'm going to ask for about 10 to 15 people, mix it up, men and women, to stand behind Steve. Can I get some volunteers? I'm going to start picking. Come on up. Yep. So, ladies, can we get a couple of the ladies, please? We need ladies. Okay. Powering down.
A home you can afford to buy. And here's the plan. Number one, we have to cut the taxes on housing. Right now, there's a hidden tax on new homes. It's crazy. It's called impact fees. We need to cut that tax on housing. Secondly, we need to reduce the regulations that make it more expensive, 2 or 3 times more expensive, to build housing in California as in any other state. We're going to reduce those regulations. Number 3, we need to stop the lawsuits that are filed to block housing being built. Most of these lawsuits are filed by the unions using CEQA, the California Environmental Quality Act. So we're going to try and stop those lawsuits. It's called the private right of action under CEQA. And the fourth part of the plan is to change the ideology that means that right now all they want you to build is apartment buildings in suburban areas. That's why everything is so expensive. That's why everything takes so long. Instead of just building upwards, we need to also build outwards. There's plenty of room in California to build the single-family homes that young families want. In fact, in my campaign, and again, it's an example of where you'll be hearing more detail in the general election campaign. I have a plan for starter homes for young families, smaller than the ones that typically get built now. That's the way to enable everyone to have what we used to have. We used to have the lowest housing costs in the country and the highest home ownership. Now it's the other way around in California.
Do you think that CEQA need to be changed?
We have the highest housing costs and the lowest home ownership. It's the opposite of the California dream, and we need to restore it. And a big part of that is reforming CEQA, and I've laid out my plans to do that.
Steve, moving past the primary, what do you plan to do going forward to be successful for the general?
What I've been talking about here, we're going to lay out my plan to cut your costs, help your business, fix our schools. Top of that list, the most urgent priority is cutting people's costs, because life is so expensive in California. I see the struggle everywhere I go on people's faces. They find it so difficult just to pay the bills. The simplest way we can get more money in people's pockets is for the government to take less out. That's why cutting taxes is the first priority.
Any comments regarding the mandatory switch to EV?
So I think people should be able to drive the cars they want to drive. I think we're sick of being bossed around by this nanny state that's constantly telling us how to live, what car to drive, what kind of house to live in, how to raise our kids, how to run our businesses. I think the government should do its job of making sure things work, that you have public safety, that the roads work, that the basic infrastructure of life functions properly, and then let people and businesses live the life that they want to live instead of constantly telling them how to live. At the moment, we've got it the other way around in California. You've got a government that can't get the basic things right. We have the highest taxes in the country for the worst results. We are 50th out of 50 states on the quality of our roads, even though we have the highest gas tax and the highest vehicle registration. And so I want to flip that around. I want the government to do its job well and then let everyone else live their life the way they want in California. That's the heart of California. Freedom, an opportunity, the rebel spirit. Just follow your dreams. That's what I want for everyone in California.
Yes. Can I ask a question? You're not going to win in November if you cannot stop the fraud in voting. Illegal immigrants and non-citizens are getting ballots. Okay, they got the ballots. So when they count the votes, okay, I can vote. Everybody can vote for you, but the absentee ballots, those are illegal votes. So how are you going to stop that?
Well, I think one very important way of making sure that we have the maximum opportunity to vote, but also the maximum security that only legal citizens can vote is voter ID. That's why we need voter ID.
Yeah, but that's after November.
I understand that, and there's some things that are already happening that will move us in the direction of having more confidence in our systems. For example, the Secretary of State of California, Democrat, about 3 years ago, she estimated that the number of incorrect names on the voter rolls in California was about 9 million. 9 million wrong names. Now, think about that. There's about 9 million votes in this election. Now, over the years, thanks to lawsuits filed by various organizations and work done by the registrars of voters in each of the counties, that number has been reduced by over 3 million, as I understand it. So we're moving in the right direction. The other important point is we have a Supreme Court case before the Supreme Court, which is likely to stop the situation where where votes can arrive after election day and still be counted. So I think there are some positive changes happening that will give us more confidence in the elections, and we need to keep going in that direction. All right, a couple more questions? We can, just a second, just for the press, and then we can have our meeting. Thank you. In that case, I'd like to invite Herb Morgan to come and say a few words. My friend and colleague on the golden ticket. Herb Morgan, your next state controller. Herb.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, soon-to-be Governor Hilton and everybody. So I am Herb Morgan. I am Steve's running mate. I'm running for California State Controller. For those of you unaware, the State Controller is the state's chief fiscal and financial officer. The State Controller is responsible for ensuring that a $320 billion budget, about to be $350 billion next year, is spent efficiently and wisely. Steve Hilton reached out to me about 1.5 years ago, and he said, and I didn't know who he was, but he reached out to me.
Shame on you.
And he said, I am building a team of highly qualified individuals. I said, well, who can I introduce you to? And he said, no, I need a financial expert. I've spent 40 years in finance, both public sector and private sector. I recently retired in March. One of the things that we aim to do is when we look at our $320 billion budget, we see vast amounts of spending, yet we don't see measurable results. I think it's fair for California citizens to say we should not be 46th in education, we should not be 48th in safety, we should not be 47th in air quality, we should not be 50th in retirement, 50th in starting a career. All of these metrics should not happen in the richest state within the richest country in the world. So Californians are right to expect the highest level of service that our government funds. The way to get that done is through the state controller's office. Our plan to get that done is called California Radical Transparency. What we aim to do is to put all state spending and all subsidiaries, that's counties, cities, school districts, hospitals, police departments, water boards, all spending, all transactions every day online in an open source searchable database. The San Francisco Chronicle declined to endorse my candidacy. They said the idea is brilliant, but we don't think he can do it. So we went ahead and built it. We launched a website 2 weeks ago, CaliforniaRadicalTransparency.com. We used artificial intelligence. We scraped every source, LAO, budget, audits, and open FisCal. Over 200 million transactions. It cost me $1,500 to build a website. This replaces open FisCal, which the state of California spent $1 billion over 20 years, and it doesn't work. Steve is building a team of people that are uniquely qualified in their area, whether it's Gloria Romero on education, whether it's Michael Gates in legal, or Herb Morgan in finance. He has individually picked and selected this team. He's the first governor candidate in history to do this. We are not here for ideology. We are not here for partisanship. We simply want to do the job for all of you. Thank you, and if there's time, I'll take questions as well.
We good? Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We still invite everybody to stay here. Please help me press my deal at and breakfast. Xin mời quý vị cùng ở lại dùng Cộng. Chúng tôi tiếp theo mời quý vị ở lại.
Congratulations. Tất cả các đồng hương, một tí xíu thôi mà nào mà.
I'm praying every night for you.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I won't jinx you.
What's that?
I won't jinx you by saying anything.
Why not?
I know you win.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, man.
Okay, can I take a picture with you, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck. God bless you. God bless you. Okay.
Right, thank you very much. You will be winner. Right.
So the owner wants a picture. Make sure we just get guys. Come on.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So this is the owner of the restaurant.
Oh
right here.
my goodness! How are you doing?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for hosting us.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
Excellent. Okay.
Thank you.
What's your name?
So you must be doing something right. You must be making sure.
Well, we want to say thank you to Steve Hilton for coming by. We're gonna be voting for you, for Steve Hilton, next governor of California. Yes.
Go Steve! Go Steve!
Steve Hilton, victory! Masterpiece.
Thank you. Here he is. Come here. Douglas, come here. I just want to say in front of everyone, what a great restaurant, yes? Yeah. Wonderful food, wonderful hospitality. I want to say thank you for everything you do for the community, and thank you for hosting us here today. What a beautiful day. This is the first day of the campaign to save California in the general election. Last night, they called the election for me. My first visit is to your restaurant. I feel very honored. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Please, I had a question. Do you promise make California better? Chair.
Yeah. Golden again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone here.
Powering down.